Hi, church. We have so many exciting things happening in the Lakeway Church. I'm just looking forward to the spring. We have a challenge in front of us, and that is that we are in the process of creating a new 5-year plan. For those of you who don't know, we created a 5-year plan in 2020. It's brilliantly thought through. We gathered the congregation in January, and then you know what happened. We had a lockdown, a pandemic. We had to figure out who we were as a church in the meantime, in the interim. And as we did so, we pivoted. And I want to tell you that I'm so thankful that it was really a thriving time for the Lakeway Church. We grew, we began to love each other well, and we began to look outside the walls of this church to love those around us. And so on February 3rd, we have another chance to do that. We're going to gather the congregation on a Saturday morning, and you're welcome to come. In fact, we want you to come because we want your voice in the middle of asking the question, where would God have us to go? What would God have us to be in the years ahead? There are exciting things that can happen here in the Lakeway Church. I know because they have been exciting. And that's one piece of news I need to share with you. In December, I met with the elders and I told them that the next 15 months, I was going to step down as the pastor of the Lakeway Church. As we began to talk through it, it was really a result of the last 2 years where we've had a team in place looking and asking the question, what would a transition look like for me at the Lakeway Church? In May of 2025, I turned 70. And I've always said that when I turned 70, I wanted to begin to offer myself to the broader Church of Jesus Christ and here in the Austin area in a different way. And in order to do that, I need to set down the responsibilities of the day-to-day work of the Lakeway Church. Now, it will be a sad time for me and for Kim because we have loved being here. This has been an incredible experience of ministry and of community. You all have loved us well, and we've been very, very thankful for it. Not only that, we've been able to use our agency in order to accomplish many things, and it's been very, very fun to be a part of what God's doing here at those times. So what I told the elders is that I want the next transition to be one that we hand off a healthy church to the next leader. So here's what's going to happen going forward. Beginning on Monday, the elders are going to convene and they are going to hire the Slingshot Group, which is a ministry search agency, and we're going to work with them to do a nationwide search for the next senior pastor at the Lakeway Church. Over the next months ahead, we will then get all sorts of resumes and other things in from the Slingshot Group. They do the vetting. And the elders, which is the elected body that you trust so much, are going to be the candidate review process. Jonathan Krath, who is one of our elders, is going to take the lead in that responsibility and that task. And one of the things I'm really asking you for is prayer for the elders during this time. As they begin to go out and look for the next leader of the church, it's going to be imperative that your voice is heard. So on February 3rd, in addition to asking where would God have us go as a church, what would God have us to do, how can we take the programs of this church and begin to improve them and walk with them, we're also going to ask this question: what kind of leader do we need in order to lead us into the next season of our church's life? Now for me, I step back from that process. This is going to be the other elders. Though I'm on the board, I'm going to recuse myself from that search. And God's going to give them the wisdom and the leadership as they begin to engage you on the kind of leader we need, and then begin to bring to you their candidate for the senior leadership of this church. Some point in the future, could be in September, it could be in November, whenever it is, they're going to bring that choice to you so that you have an opportunity to vote on them. It's going to be an exciting time in the life of the church. The next years ahead are going to be fruitful time for the church here. And in many ways, it's very sad to me that I have to step down at this point. But of course, I don't have to. It is because God's leading in my life to the next season of our life. Kim and I are planning on staying in the community. We're planning on investing ourselves in wherever God has us for the future. And we're looking forward to having the time to raise our grandkids and to spend time traveling together, as well as doing ministry in a new way. I have to tell you how thankful I am for you. You have been a significant part of this church, but you've been a significant part of my life. And I cannot imagine the journey that I've been on over the last 43 years of ministry without the Lakeway Church being a part of it. You have been a gift to me. And I look forward to the next 12 to 15 months as we begin to walk through it together, as we begin to pray for the elders as they bring us a candidate as a church so that we can pick the right senior leadership. I know that God goes before us. He has all this time, and we have to expect and anticipate that He will do that again. I look forward to having conversation with you. On Sunday, I'm going to talk about it in worship, but I wanted to give you a heads up so that you, as well as the rest of the congregation, can begin to pray for our church. We look forward to seeing where God has us and where He's going to take us.